Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Bunny's Garden. Those of you who have been here before, I always say this, but I appreciate you for always coming back, for hitting that subscribe button, for hitting that like button, helping us build the algorithm and getting us into more people's news feeds. That way we can help heal everyone together. And like I always say, you gotta heal individually before you can come together and heal as one. To my newcomers, thank you for coming. Hopefully it was the Holy Spirit or whoever you believe in that sent you here, that guided you to me, to these lessons that I have to give to y'all. I do love y'all. I know that the holiday season has arrived and it's coming upon us. And I know some of us may be less fortunate than others. All I ask of you is to please keep that strength, hold on to your faith, and try your best to find something to be appreciative of, because although life can be bad, there can be a lot of things going wrong. There's always that one thing that goes right, whether it's you being alive here today. Your life or your day might not be going as good, but be grateful that you still have breath in your body. Be grateful that you are able to walk and mobilize and move around as such. There's a lot of people who are handicapped. They don't have feeling in their legs. They can't walk around like the rest of us can. There's people who are blind. They're not able to see the beautiful world that we see. They have their own beautiful imagination and their own beautiful interpretation of the world. So I'm not saying that they, completely missing out, but you have something that someone else doesn't have. Just find something to be grateful for. Be happy that you're still alive, and you eventually will be able to fix and change your problems, because all problems shall pass as long as you so believe it. If you stay in a negative mindset, negativity is going to flow to you. If you stay in a positive mindset, positivity is always going to come to you. It ain't always going to be positive, but majority of your life, positivity is going to come into you. And why is that? That is because the universal law says that what you are is what you attract. So if you're positive, you go attract positivity. If you're a negative and depressed or sad person or whatever the case may be, you go attract those type of people, situations, events, and places. So we always want to keep that in mind, to just always be grateful, because there's always someone that is less fortunate than us. I also want to say, with this holiday season, I challenge you all to do an act of service or an act of kindness. I live in Chicago, so the people that I see in the street, if I can, sometimes I give them some money, I give them some change, or whatever the case may be. If there's a child that I know that is in need, I try to find a way to help them out. Maybe volunteer for a little brother, big sister, or big sister, big brother, little brother type situation. Maybe do volunteer work at a hospital, a children's hospital, or an old folks home, or something like that. But please, 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 I challenge you all to try to do an act of service out of the kindness of your heart. Not even because I'm telling you to do it, but do it because that's what you really want to do. That's what your heart and your soul is telling you to do, to give back in some sort of way. And I promise you, I guarantee that blessing is going to come back to you tenfold. It may not be right away. It may not be the blessing that you want, but a blessing is going to come for you because of that. I do have my ebook, my Dear Diary Shadow Work, Healing for the Soul. That is the title. Pretty soon, I'm going to go and print out so that y'all can have a format and see it physically. A lot of people like to see what they buy. This is a way for you to channel the dark side of yourself. And like I always say, the 3 C's: control, conquer, change. Control, change, conquer. If it's something about yourself or about your past, of course we can't change our past, but what you can do is control it and conquer those sad and negative emotions. That way that you can move on from them. Or if it is a part of you that you don't like about yourself, it's a part of you that you don't like about the outside world, the environment that you are in, you are the master of your life or your world. Only you can control that. Only you have the say-so of what stays and what goes. Regardless of what anybody tell you, or regardless of what anybody think or what they got to say, it don't matter. If it don't make you happy, if it make you feel uncomfortable, if it don't feel good. And a lot of times, things make us uncomfortable in order for us to notice that it ain't for us. Again, sometimes things make us uncomfortable, things make us sad, things make us angry. For us to know that it ain't for us. So let it go, drop it before it get worse, drop it before it get out of control, but now it's harder for you to control the flame or the fire. Okay. Also, I wanted to give a big shout out to Sisters of Hope 360. When I went to their meeting, I'm just now looking into my goodie bag that they gave me. Look at this little beautiful little pen. Okay, y'all know I love to write in my journal, and they gave me a journal. What does it say? It says, I have loved you with an everlasting love. And you know what? I had been asking and seeking for another journal, additional journal, specifically for my YouTube channel entries and whatnot. So I'm actually glad that I found this at the right time. But I love the colorism and the beauty of this. Y'all know I'm very artistic and articulate when it comes to art. So I'm appreciative of this. Like I said, the name of their group is Sisters of Hope 360, and they pretty much are a group of women. They empower each other. Each month they pick a topic to discuss amongst a group of beautiful women, and they celebrate. That's something amazing to have. That's something that we all should be a part of. Whether you a part of their group or you create your own group, you find another group that resonates with you, I love that for you, okay? Now, I want to get into today's topic. Like always, I got my notes. I'm always trying to learn something new. I always want to advance my vocabulary and my educational background. Just stimulate my mind to something new every day. So I at least try to do that every day, whether it's something small or something big. And hopefully that influences you to want to do the same. You ain't got to 100% just pick up a book and read, but I suggest that you do that, because a lot of us nowadays, we don't do that no more. And it's kind of sad, because education and learning is one of the most beautiful and freest things in life that you can receive. You go to the library easily and not have to pay for the books. You could have your own collection, whatever you choose so to do. Or just go out and experience the world. You never know, you might learn something new. You might run into somebody and y'all just have a full-out conversation and you learn something new about another culture, race, background, whatever that may be. Okay, so today's topic, if you read the title already, of course, it is about unity and why unity is important. Unity is the state of being united or joined as one. Unity involves all of us coming together, accepting each other for who we are, and minding our business, being happy with ourselves, and also being happy with other folks for being themselves, appreciating and accepting each other. That's one of the main things that make the world go round. It involves love, it involves teamwork, leadership. Everybody got a role to play. You ain't always got to be the leader. In some situations, in some events, you could not be the leader. You could allow somebody else to be a leader. And that's what a lot of division comes from. The opposite of unity is division. That's where a lot of division comes from. People not knowing their role or when to play somebody else's role. Honey, what is for you is for you, and it's always going to be there for you. Ain't nobody taking away your blessings because they live in their truth. Go out and chase your blessings and be who you supposed to be. And those blessings, everything that you want and so desire, every follower that you need is going to come to you. That's just how that works. Okay, so now I have, why is unity important? It says, unity is needed for survival. We should help each other, and together we can fight and face evil and negative things. This is the only way to freedom from all kind of evil. Kind of what I just said. When we come together, there is no stopping us. There is no defeating us. When we all have the same message, when we all live by the same standard. And honestly, you don't have to necessarily, what makes us amazing is we all are different individually. So always be different and always be your authentic self. But when it comes together, when we come as a whole, it is very important for us to respect each other's differences, love each other for our differences. As one, together, you can fight off the people or the enemy of the people who wants to tear you down for just being yourself. Okay, so number 2 that I have for why unity is important is because nature wants us to unite. We enter into balance with nature and awaken a positive force of dwelling in nature to surface among us. But you're not a part of nature. You are nature. All of us are one and the same. And a lot of people tend to forget this because they don't know it wasn't taught to them, or they just look past it because they think, oh, you a different race than me, you a different social and financial class than me, so I'm gonna look down upon you and this and that. No, that's not what this is. That's not what this is about. Okay? All of us, like I said, are different in different forms. However, all of us have different weaknesses. So just because you got a little bit more money than this person might be a little bit more wiser than you in other situations, scenarios that one day you might need them for. You don't even know it. You walking past the homeless people, looking down on them like, they this, and that. You don't even know their story. You don't know where they came from, what they're struggling with, and if you notice, a lot of famous people, if you look at some of, not even famous, but if you look at a lot of rich people that came from poor backgrounds, they weren't always that person that they were. And one of the people I want to mention, because he on my mind right now, is Michael Jackson. I don't know if y'all love Michael. Look, I love Michael Jackson, okay? And although he reached his stardom rather earlier than most people, if you go look at documentaries of him and his family, it was 10 siblings, plus the parents living in a 2-bedroom home. You probably out here complaining because you have to share a bedroom with your brother or your sister. And there's people that's out here that's way less fortunate than you. And you know what I admire the most about that whole story? Even when they were living in their home, it didn't feel that small to them because they were appreciative. They were a family. They were one and they coexisted with each other. They had that bond of what family is and what family is supposed to be. And that's why they experienced throughout their childhood didn't feel as if they were poor. You know, like, it's all based on how you view, perceive, and interpret what's going on within your life, because there's a lot of reasons you could be looking down on yourself, but there could be even more and greater reasons why you should look up. Don't ever feel bad about your situation or your circumstances, because we all go through something. We all going through something. Okay, very much something. But back to the topic at hand. We are nature. We are nature, okay? So when I say this, I mean to say those trees outside, those birds outside, those animals outside, those ants that we tend to step on, those insects, bugs, and everything is all us. Those plants that you see outside, that grass that grows up, all of that is you, and you are all it, okay? So with this in mind, we are supposed to be in a harmonious peace with one another, because that's what is going to help the rest of the world and the rest of nature flow in peace together. You notice when bad things go on in environments, you're destroying nature. Like all these factories that's put up, that is not a form of what nature is or what nature's supposed to be. I know factories can be beneficial, but you're throwing off the balance of what nature is. If you're a hunter, I know you want to hunt for your family, but think about all the animals that have gone extinct because we just out here attacking and killing animals just because for hunting, sports, and all this other stuff. That's not, if you read the Bible, that's not what God was telling us to do. He was telling you, get your portion and be happy with your portion. Don't be greedy, because when you get greedy about the situation, that's when things go bad. And that's how a lot of, again, unity ends up breaking apart, because people become greedy. People don't know their position. People don't realize that there's enough to go around for everybody. So you don't have to be greedy or be spiteful or be jealous of because somebody else is doing their thing. Do your own thing and focus on your own plate, so that you don't have to, you don't even, when you focus on your own thing, you're not even worried about what another person doing. You don't have time to worry about what another person doing, because you focus on your empire flourishing and you bettering yourself and all these blessings that you got pouring in over you. Number 3 is we are only as strong as we are united. And that really meant a lot to me, because that goes back to what I was just saying. There, you could name in history so many times where groups came together and they all had one purpose, and then they let that one bad seed in. All it takes is one weak link, and it just dismantled everything. Everything, the message was missing. The lesson that they were teaching was gone. All those blessings that they had poured into them were no longer. A lot of groups, for example, the Black Panther Party with Fred Hampton. If you watch Judas and the Black Messiah, Fred he didn't let him, but he snuck in and infiltrated their group, and their message was no longer. He helped the FBI dismantle his own people, which was real fucked up if you ask me. Excuse my French. Or if you read the Bible, you see with God, with Jesus, y'all pray at the Last Supper. God looking around like, which one of y'all told on me? Which I know one of y'all tricked, but it's cool, because I'll be back. When that Sunday come and I rise, I'll be back. And you see what happened, okay? Going into the religious thing, with number 4, it says, if you are religious and read the Bible, it says, by this everyone knows that you are my disciple. Wait, my bad. It says, unity makes love clear and understandable. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. It also says nothing can beat a united team. They are winners and victories in life. Meaning that unity is a strong power against the enemy. Okay, so think about it. I'm going to put this in the perspective of real life and day to day. If some of my people, if you were on the basketball team when you were younger, any sports team, you go out there and whether y'all done lost 10 games in a row or you going up against the greatest team that there is, if your team has unity and harmonized while y'all out there on that floor, on that court, in that field, y'all have the potential and the chance to beat the team that's just so good that everybody on that high horse and everybody is arrogant and whatnot, and instead of working together, they want to score the most points, they want to get the touchdowns, they want to, instead of working as a team, the weakest or the sorriest team can outbeat the best team just by working together and having faith in each other and everybody playing their position and their role. While the team that has been winning all this time come out here and like, okay, these just some scrubs, we finna whoop them, and the point guard out here like, oh, I'm the best one on the team because I'm scoring all the points, so I ain't even go pass the ball to nobody. I'm gonna just go up there. Ooh, shoot that jumper, shoot that 3 real quick. I'm you feel me? And you miss the layup. You steady miss the layups. You making the layups, but you going to the free throw line. That's what's supposed to say your team. You going to the free throw line and you're not even concentrating. You're not even focused. Your head off. So I said that to say, even with wars, like, a lot of wars that were won or a lot of wars that were at a draw was because sometimes leaders come to the point where it's like, you know what? This is crazy. We ain't even supposed to be out here doing this. Let's we finna go ahead and write out this peace treaty and let it be what it is. You agree to disagree. We agree to disagree. You stay on your land and do what you do with your rules and your laws and your enforcement. We gonna stay on our end with our rules, our laws, and our enforcement. Another example that I want to give of that though that I wrote down was the civil rights movement. And that's one of the most popular words that I could really think of that is learned while you're in school. And it's also just know, especially if you're an African American or Hispanic or Caucasian person, a lot of the Civil War changed the way that the United States was ran for a very long time. And this started when a group of black people came together and said, you know what? We're not being treated fairly. Like, yeah, slavery is over, but we is segregated. I gotta go to the back of the bus and all these humiliating laws that's placed against me and my people. You got people that's out here lynching us and all this other stuff. We gonna have to come together. And what did they do? They had, with the bus boycott with Rosa Parks, they had the carpools where our people came together. Even people from the other side, white Caucasian people, also came together and was like, you know what, my people is doing y'all a little wrong, and I do feel bad, so I'm gonna do my part as well and help y'all with getting y'all message out and trying to change the way that things are for us. With Martin Luther King doing his march. Did you, and I wish I was one of those souls. I hope in my past life I was one of those souls that was there during that march, because that was just such a unifying and significant experience for my people. Like, if you even looking at the pictures, it's hard to get people to come together, especially in such a mass group the way that they did, with one message and one goal in mind, to free my people and for us to all be equal. There was, and the the civil rights movement didn't happen overnight. It took time, and people had patience because the goal was so big. The amount of love that was shared and given amongst each other was so big that was the only reason why. It wouldn't have worked if our people was against each other and we out here, you out here at one of the peace rallies and whatnot, and you fighting with each other instead of in front of the company. You sticking together and showing love and not giving up on your dream and your goal. And honestly, that is like one of the most inspirational and one of the best examples that I could give, because without unity of each other and also other outside forces, that may have never happened for us. And it took a lot of, and honestly, everyone knew their role. The women took care of the kids, and women came together to make sure that their husbands was good. You know, they made sure that the families went to church and all these other things. The men had the protection side of things, where they protected their family, made sure that everybody was safe and okay. You see, Martin Luther King, he had his role as one of the main leaders. He played his position, which was what he was supposed to do, which was preach to his people and give them that word, give them that courage and that faith and that strength to keep going. Because without his poetic words and without him motivating his people to keep going, it probably wouldn't have worked. Even with Malcolm X, because there was a lot of us who, on one hand, we with Martin because we want to be peaceful and we feel like peace is what's going to help. We don't want to fight because it can make things get worse. They already treating us the way that they treating us. They already killing us horribly. And if we retaliate and react in the same way that they are, you know, like, they gonna use that excuse against us. Well, y'all don't deserve it because y'all are animals, which is something that they still try to do to us today. Malcolm, on the other hand, he was like, you know, maybe we should use their techniques against them because it's working for them. I mean, them killing us is putting fire in our ass, so maybe if we take a couple of them out, I ain't finna go out here and I'm not gonna fight my own people, but I'm not gonna let them kick my ass and then I just take it. I ain't gonna just sit in the street while they hosing me down and they got their dogs attacking me and I'm just supposed to pray, hold on to Jesus and keep praying. He's like, no, we got the right to bear arms, so that's what we gonna do. And we go, you feel me? We go protect ourselves, and we still gonna get our message across because our message and our point is very valid. But we gonna do it in a more forceful way, because sometimes you gotta use that chaos energy and that rage within you to let a person know we not fucking around, we not playing. And honestly, Malcolm also influenced. First of all, when Malcolm started enjoying the Muslim religion, the Muslim practice, he had over, I think it was 50,000 from 50,000 to 250,000 people that were recruited under his name. And when he came, they only had maybe 5,000 to 15,000 people. So that right there says a lot about his influence. And that right there says that he did do a good job of playing his role and his position within that war. You also have different groups like the Black Panther Party, who I mentioned earlier, and they got a lot of their influence from Malcolm, because Malcolm was about that chaos energy and that us protecting ourselves, because you got the right to protect yourself. You got the right to defend yourself when a person is trying to kill you or trying to hurt you and harm you and dehumanize you. That's just what that is, you know. But I say all that to say that as long as y'all come together and it's genuine, and as long as you all have the same message, the same goal that you're trying to reach, and everyone knows their position and plays their role effectively, you will always win against whoever you choose to come against. No matter if it's more people of them than you, they more skilled than you, or any of that. If y'all united and strong with what y'all message is, and y'all are united and netted with one another, and no one can come between that, it's a beautiful thing. So now I want to get into the opposite of unity. It says the opposite of unity is division. Division is the act of separating something into parts, or the process of being separated, or and catch this one, or disagreement between two or more groups, which typically produces tension and hostility. Again, the third definition is disagreement between two or more groups, which typically produces tension and hostility. Now notice in both of the definitions, definition for unity and a definition for division, unity produces love, peace, and harmony. Division produces hostility and tension, separation and division, you know? So that alone right there says a lot. When we separate ourselves and we try to characterize ourselves as different instead of being one, it will eventually cause tension. It can cause you to feel a type of way about somebody just based off of them. Oh, they don't agree with us. They thinking that they better than us. So I'll tell this other group just over here, like, you know, we over here, we doing our thing, we sowing our seeds, we got our, you know, we planting our garden, and this other group over here just hating. Oh, they out there singing and sowing some seeds. They think they better than us, and that don't even be the case. Next, it says, by making no motion towards unity, our egos grow unbatted, and we let division and hatred separate us more and more. And you know, hatred, of course, that's not a beautiful word. It's not a beautiful emotion to have. So that right there says even more. It says, it causes us to suffer on a personal, social, ecological, and global scale. Okay. So your group out here doing their thing, they sowing their seeds, they planting their garden, they getting themselves together, they over here, they meditating, they praying, whatever they choose to do, they out here being creative with their endeavors and whatnot. You over here, y'all group over here is, you know, y'all doing y'all thing too, but y'all not satisfied because y'all feel like y'all need everything. Or y'all not satisfied because whatever your cuz is. And instead of going over there and saying, let's come together with this group real quick and see what they doing so that maybe we can start doing it on our own. Or let's learn from these people what their process is so that we could find that peace and harmony within our group, or even come together and combine with them and make something even bigger, better, and more beautiful. Instead of you doing that, now you want to go to war and you want to take that stuff like Christopher Columbus them did them Indians, which was wrong, and y'all know y'all was wrong. I don't care. Thanksgiving, and I love Thanksgiving because it's a family time for me, but the original of what happened and what was going on, y'all know y'all was wrong. Y'all did them Indians wrong. They came over here, y'all came over to their land and tricked them and acted like, we want to be all free and teach us how to knit, teach us how y'all be growing, and teach us the language that y'all so we can communicate with y'all. And y'all turned on them folks. Y'all know y'all was wrong. That was some dirty, devilish shit. Period. I don't care who will get offended by it, because that's the truth, goddammit. Honestly, even if a group tells you, well, this is our customs and we kind of keep this to ourselves because this is very spiritual and close to our hearts, you can't do nothing but respect that and try to find another way and just come up with your own way. Or observe from the background, you feel me, a little bit, just peek over their shoulder, and pick up the little pieces that you can and just go about your day. You ain't got to go to war with a folk because they don't want to be cool or they don't want to be friends with you. That's just dead wrong. That ain't going to make them be your friend. Hell, that don't mean that they need to be your enemy either. And the example that I had for this was World War II with the Nazis versus the Jews. And I mention this because the world in Germany was kind of going downhill as far as their economical scale and people losing jobs, the Great Depression that went on, there's food shortages and whatnot. And instead of the Nazis coming together and was like, okay, we're going to find a way to help our people by learning new resources in order to grow new crops so that my people can eat, in order to find new economical strategies so that we could trade and work with other continents and countries so that we can get that money flow to come back in, or to reestablish companies so that we could give employment to our people. Y'all needed a scapegoat, so y'all blamed one group. And then foolish people turned around and was like, you know what? We angry too, so we gonna take it out on them. And that was fucked up, okay? It was, because when I read Anne Frank top to bottom. I done read a couple books from her, about her, the diary, everything. It was at one point when I was in school, from 6th to 8th grade, I always did a project on her, specifically on her, because the amount of humiliation and the amount of sadness that was sprung upon them simply for them believing in a God, in their specific God, and doing their customs was very messed up. Similar to slavery, but slavery was definitely worse because it was way longer. The treatment was way more harsh. The way that they displayed it, during slavery, they would chop you up in front of your family, rape your wife, rape your son, and then turn around and rape you. They would hang a person and turn around and cut off parts of their body and display them for the town to see. So that was a whole nother ball game. But that don't mean that World War II with the Jews was not as bad, because they had them in concentration camps and was starving those people, was labor and working them to death. The gas chambers where they put them in groups and just killed off people. If y'all read The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, I could. But you know what? That was definitely karma for that daddy. Because he tried to hide who he was from his family for a long time. Well, really from his kids, but And the little boy, he just so naive. He wasn't looking at color. He wasn't looking at religion. He accepted that little boy for who he was, even though he looked different from him. That was his friend. And honestly, we can learn a lot from kids too, because that's just a child's nature, you know. Like, we as a child, if especially if you were a child like this where you were friendly, you didn't care if a person was light skinned or dark skinned, or if they were black or white, or if they had money. If you fun, you want to have fun with me, let's have fun together. We finna play with our cars. We got our little Barbie dolls and whatnot, and we finna have a good time together. We finna go outside and play tag. We not worried about, oh, you got on dirty shoes. Hell, we all got on dirty shoes because we all little kids. We running around just having a good time, not even worried about the fabric that's on our body or the clothes that we got on, all that other stuff. We just want to have fun. We just want to love on each other and be loved in return. That's, you know, so we can definitely learn a lot from kids. I love, especially now, I love kids. I'll say this again, Michael Jackson inspired me to love kids, because if you go back and look at his track record, and I hate the way that the media tried to play him and make him seem like this monster that he was not. Because, first of all, Guinness World Record, the #1 celebrity that gave millions, hundreds of millions to be exact, of his hard-earned money to less fortunate children. He not even just giving out his money, but you going to hospitals. Every tour that he went on, you got tour dates every day, but you still found time to go to these hospitals and not only give toys to the kids, but spend time with them. And a lot of people can learn a lot from him, and that's the reason why media didn't like him, because he was showing love and spreading love. Other thing the media care about is we want the money. We trying to stay on top and keep them down. So we go feed them sadness and anger and hatred and separate them. That way, when they're separate, they're easier to defeat. It's easier for us to have them under our control when they're separated versus when they're together. And Michael knew that, so that's why he loved everyone for who they. Remember, it don't matter if you're black or white. Okay. Heal the world, make it a better place. Oh, for you and for me and me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little sick, so sounded real, you know, catty-like. Okay. Not saying that I know how to sing, okay, but I sound a little bit better when I ain't sick, at least. Okay. With this last portion of this message that I have for y'all today is, how do we unite? Now, honestly, I'll say that there is not 100% a blueprint for how we're supposed to all come together, but some tips that we can all use and take into consideration is to have the same mind, same love, and one in spirit. And when I say that, I mean to say we all love each other for who we are. We all love ourselves to start out with, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody. So loving yourself, healing yourself, protecting yourself, and taking care and following your dreams. And then in turn, you going out and you giving that same love, that same protection, that same compassion to others. Anybody that you cross paths with, anybody who you are able and you know that you can help, do that in any way that you can. And just respecting each other for our differences, sis. Just because a person don't have the same amount of money as you, don't mean that they're less to you. Just because you may be a little bit more wiser than others around you, don't mean that makes you better than them, because no one ever taught them. No one ever told them to go out and learn. Or even if, you know, like, because we all adults, so we all gonna take responsibility. At one point, you gotta do what you gotta do and figure out what you need to figure out and learn what you need to learn. But sometimes people don't have that. They didn't have that influence. So since they didn't have that influence and you feel like you so smart and you so bad and you so better, be that influence for them to better themselves. And they gonna take it or they gonna leave it. but you did your part in just doing that alone and just influencing. And also understand, don't be greedy. There's enough out here for everybody, okay? There is enough money. There is enough fish in the sea. There is enough, all blessings, whatever blessing you choose or you feel like you want or you desire. All it takes is for you to work for it, work towards it. You can't be mad at a person because they did their part and sowing their seeds, and now it's time for them to receive their blessings because they went out and they toiled that soil. They turned that soil. I mean to say, they made sure that they planted their seeds when they were supposed to plant it. And they went out there every day and watered their plants and took care of them and made sure that they had enough of whatever that they needed. So go out and plant your own garden, okay? You in Bunny's garden. Ta-da! Walk in a Bunny's garden. Okay, so never be jealous or envious. Always be inspired. Always be motivated by somebody else accomplishing their goals and chasing their dreams. But never be envious of what a person got going on. Especially envious to the point that you feel like you want to take, steal, or even kill them, which is a terrible way to think, a terrible way of being, a terrible state to be in. Because even think about it. You kill that person, your blessings still not pouring in. Even if they come for a second, their rug will get snatched from under you. Why? Because that wasn't your blessing. That wasn't for you. Even if you steal from a person, the same way that you got that money, a person gonna come around, turn around, and steal from you. You can't do nothing but accept that because you like, damn, karma real. I shouldn't have even did that. That's at least what you should be thinking, okay? So yes, just mind the business that pays, stay in your lane, love your life and love yourself, and work towards your dreams. It's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to be inspired and motivated by others, but don't let that deter you from following what you want to do and what you feel like in your heart is right for you. And the example that I have for that, I'm big on history. I like history, if y'all haven't noticed. But I have the Silk Road, or AKA the Silk Route. This is where China, Rome, Africa, and the Americas share and traded with each other. And each country had their own road. China had silk, wools, gold, and silver. Africa traded diamonds, rice, clothes, and spices. Rome traded fruits and vegetables and weapons, and the Americas traded meat and other valuables. And if you go back in time and look at this time period, it was more peaceful because everybody knew their role, everybody played their position, and it was enough for everyone. It was enough if you didn't have what you needed or what you wanted, it was because you wasn't doing what you were supposed to be doing in order to receive it. Or if you was one of those people where you had what you needed, but you wanted to be greedy and you wanted more, shame on you, and you fucked up the system, the peace and the positivity and the harmony, okay? Know that. So, I say all that to say, of course, like always, I do love y'all. Thank you for coming back. If you learned something new in this video, please do not be afraid to hit that like button. Also, comment down below some new things that you learned. Comment down below some of the things that you already knew that you want to touch even more bases on it. Y'all my community, so have a conversation down below about how you feeling and what you're thinking, what you know about the situation or the topics that are at hand. Feel free to subscribe as well. Turn on that notification bell so that you don't miss a thing, okay? Because we is always, like I'm always, dropping something new for us to talk about, to discuss, to learn, discover, or rediscover. Because maybe these are some of the things that you knew and you had when you was in your childhood state, but you lost it because society and social media and all other forms and aspects stripped you from that peace, that positivity, that harmony, and that one love mentality. Okay, well, that's it. And I'll see you guys later.